at the documentary for Say It Loud, James Brown, and you are the executive producer. Tell me how you feeling tonight.
Uh, I'll avoid the obvious trap of saying I feel good.
Yeah.
I'm satisfied that we successfully have completed this project, um, and that his story will last forever, and that's the important part.
Right. Now we're in Harlem. They say that this was like his second home.
Oh,
how
absolutely.
important is it to be in Harlem celebrating his life again?
I mean, I think it's rather apropos we're here at the Apollo because you know, probably my favorite series of live albums is James Brown Volume 1, 2, and 3. 3 is like my all-time favorite, but not many people know. Like now we talk in terms of viralness, and James Brown basically invented a viral moment, by capturing his show here at this theater, and then it spread like wildfire. And for me, it's rather apropos that we're celebrating and kicking it off here.
For sure. Now, also, he has some very controversial moments, things of that nature, especially in the Jim Crow era. How do you think that if he was alive today, how will he react to the Black America today? How the state of America is today?
The state of America today is no different than it was in the early aughts or in the 90s or in the 80s or in the 70s or 60s and 50s. I think what's changing is our willingness to keep a filter on. There's a lot of nothing to see here, like the fire behind you, nothing to see here. And now, I guess with the way that information is spread and the viralness of information, it's really hard to ignore anything because of the invention of the camera phone, and you can instantly sense when something's happening that's of injustice. But James Brown basically used his platform in ways that he thought was effective and helpful at the time. And there were a lot of people that thought that getting a seat at the table was an effective thing, even if it was a table that wasn't to our greater good or our best interests. But I mean, I could sort of see how he felt like, well, I'm trying to be at the table to help my people. But, as we now know, a lot of times that a lot of our leaders are used just for photo ops and for clout points, which we can easily call out now as opposed to. So I will say that his heart was in the right place. And sometimes the greatest lessons that we learn is when mistakes are made.
Right.
But he's also infallible. So he managed to overcome that kind of minor blowback of 74 with endorsing Nixon and still maintain his legendary status. So,
Sure,
yeah.
sure. And thank you so much. So lastly, before we go, what's your favorite James Brown song?
Well, I think it would be apropos because of what I do for a living that Funky Drum is my favorite song. It's so weird. The one song that is probably the most important song of his entire career was the only song that wasn't a top 10 hit during that 1964, 1974 10-year genius stretch. But yeah, I think to me that's a song that built a revolution of hip hop. So
For sure. Thank you so much, Chris, for coming through. I'm here with the actual goddaughters of James Brown. How are you guys feeling tonight?
We're good. We're really excited to be here.
Okay, great. I like that. Unison. So tell me, all of the controversy that he stirred up back in the day for good and a little for bad. How do you feel like he would be today in the current state of America and how it's going in Black America today?
Well, I think he was always unapologetic about his voice and who he was and standing up for what was right, no matter what the situation was. And our father, Reverend Al Sharpton, is the embodiment of that. And so I think he would be proud of our voice in terms of us raising it and utilizing our voice for meaningful good in the world to make good trouble. And I think he would be right along with that. Like, let's keep making good trouble. Let's keep standing up for what's right. And let's keep doing what we can to make change happen.
And that's one of the things that he challenged us with. He challenged our father As he got older, of course, we all know that he made Black and Proud. He was unapologetic. He changed the beat of music. But as he got older, he was asking my father. He was like, "What are you guys doing? What is this? What is happening in this political world?" So I definitely think he would be involved, and he would definitely want us all to be involved. And I think that we're all on the right track.
Right, for sure. Did your dad ever say any embarrassing stories about James Brown? A little something.
He liked to talk to the crack of dawn. So he was always having an idea, or it could be like whatever time of the day, whatever you were doing, you had to stop and hear what he had to say. He was always like that. So we miss hearing his voice. We miss like waking up to seeing him like there. But we know that he's watching over us, and we know that we're just doing what we can to keep him proud and to keep his work alive, because he really did break barriers in entertainment. So we're doing that.
From the stories that we were told, Papa didn't take no mess.
Yeah.
I will leave that there.
Yeah, that was a good one. For sure.
Thank you so much for volunteering with us.
James Brown's music inspired a lot of people throughout the years that he's been here. How has he personally inspired you or even molded you as a person?
Well, first of all, before we get to a lot of people, let's just deal with the fact that he's the most sampled man in hip-hop. As we celebrate hip-hop's 50th anniversary, be clear that the most sampled person in hip-hop is Mr. James Brown. So what he represents to me is what he represents to the culture. He also represents the possibilities of Black America. I mean, he came from nothing, literally poverty, and was able to build an empire. First to own his own radio station, first to own his own private plane, understood understood the importance of owning your publishing, understood what it meant to be on that road, understood collecting your money, understood going up somebody's head and trying to take advantage of you. Like that right there is the Black American story, right? So what he's done for me is reaffirm that spirit that's innately in Black America.
I love that answer. Now, speaking of Black America, do you feel like you would be happy with some of the current, I guess, progression that we had?
Or lack thereof?
I was going to ask that, or lack thereof?
He would be pissed off.
Okay.
I mean, this is a man who went to the White House, who was pushing to make sure we had Black Music Month, who was trying to get legislation pushed through, who was instrumental in helping Dr. King Day become a holiday. So he would have been extremely involved, I think, in the political process, and look at the scope and the landscape today and a little dismayed. But I think that he would also be able to give us, an anthem that we would need, and that I think America needs right now to really motivate us to see past today's issues and really look to that promise that this country made, not to only Black America, but to itself.
Yeah, for sure. And we're going to end it with a positive note. Give me your favorite James Brown song.
I have two.
Yes.
One, Say It Loud.
Yes.
I'm Black and I'm Proud, for obvious reasons. And then the other is The Big Payback.
Okay. Yes.
America, old Black America reparations. And for me, every time I hear that song, it reminds me of the debt due to Black America. And how our champions have been screaming for this for over 400 plus years.
Speak on it. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed the documentary.
All right, thank you.